स्वभावचिन्मयानन्दं कृपापूर्णं जगत्पतिं हरिषड्वर्गजेतारं नित्यानन्दगुरुं भजे.
You will be surprised how in the traditional Indian lifestyle, even few hundred years ago, people lived happily with one person. Understand? I have seen at least 2 cases and I have heard at least 25 to 30 cases. 100-year-old, the man will pass away within 3 hours, the lady, she will pass away. If you go to your native villages, you will hear these stories. Understand, passing away cannot happen just by shock. Just by simple shock, the person will not die. And especially after 100 years, why she will die if he dies? But see, they lived together. That is why they are very clear. Yes, now it is time. Let both of us leave the body. If you go back to your village and sit with the elderly ladies and talk, at least 2 stories you will hear. I know for sure. Means they lived together. The living together was lifestyle. Was lifestyle. Understand? That happens only when both the person's non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened. If both beings, non-mechanical parts of the brain is awakened, you will also be constantly settling with your ecstasy. She will also be constantly settling with her ecstasy. Even if you share each other, you will be sharing your ecstasy. Constantly you will be radiating it. The other day, I was reading an article. In Bangalore, the divorce rate is 33%. I was shocked. 33%. What is happening to India? God. Leading. Now the metropolitan cities are leading in divorce rate. 33%. And the whole thing has started rising only in last 10 years. After the IT revolution. No, really. No, the reason, these are all the great side effects of the IT revolution. Understand? The reason, the main reason is their routine is not happening after their psychological revolution. Understanding. The hardware is forced to do something for which software is not even, forget about training, not even taught. The software does not know why it should do, does not have any justification why it should do, but the hardware is made to do. That kind of routine leads to more and more dullness. So instead of awakening the non-mechanical parts of the brain, even the mechanical parts of the brain starts dying. Then you carry the constant depression and dullness in you, and you share that only. When you hug the other person, when you touch the other person, you just pour that depression, that dullness. So naturally, you are living together, not together. The dissatisfaction arises. That dissatisfaction leads to all kinds of fight. One important thing, when that kind of a dullness and depression happens, suddenly you will see, you will start feeling like your whole life is doomed. You will not understand, you will not think this will pass away. You will think, I cannot imagine living with this guy whole life. I cannot imagine looking at the same person every morning. These kinds of thoughts will become stronger and stronger inside your system. I am talking about all this marriage thing because this person has questioned the centuries-old custom in the Indian culture of surrendering choice of life, sexual love made to parents is so powerful in affecting the consciousness in regards to surrender, connection, trust. I want you to understand. Actually, this sutra and this question is very closely connected. That's the reason I am working on this, both the question and sutra. Maybe today we will do just this sutra, because this sutra can reveal so much. We will do just this one sutra. And after the break also, if you have questions just on this sutra, right, I'll try to answer. We will explore deeper and deeper just this sutra. Centuries old custom in the Indian culture of surrendering choice of life, sexual love mate, to parents is so powerful in affecting the consciousness. I want you to understand, the sexual love mate, choice of the sexual love mate is not surrendered to parents traditionally, it is surrendered to your own inner consciousness. Understand? It is surrendered to your own ecstasy, which is happening by awakening of the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Parents actually do a kind of a shortlisting. Only they do a kind of a shortlisting. It is actually the enlightened master. He matches and chooses and fits exactly, seeing the horoscope. In those days, the astrology and horoscope will be studied by an enlightened being. Usually, every family will have an enlightened guru, the Kula Guru. Fortunately, all those Kula Gurus were enlightened. Here you are saying, parents, surrendering it to parents. No, it is not surrendered to parents even till 100 years ago. Even till 100 years ago, it was surrendered to enlightened astrologer, horoscope, person who reads your Kula Guru. Kula Guru is practically like a family psychiatrist and much more. Not just family psychiatrist, much more. He knows the whole family background. He is enlightened. He can give you the straight things which is needed, solution. He can look at the things in a very objective way. So traditionally, custom was surrendering that freedom to him, not to the parents. And one nice thing, many parents are also enlightened. Many parents, even though they never claimed or they never said, see, telling your enlightenment was not a lifestyle in our tradition. It was not a lifestyle. And actually, even now, there is one big tradition of Siddha Parampara believes not to speak about your personal spiritual experience to others. They don't talk. Because now the number has become rare, we need to inspire more and more people coming inside this tradition. We are all made to tell, talk, just to inspire people. Otherwise, traditionally they don't inspire, they don't talk. We know so many elders, parents, who can solve completely their problem and others' problem and live in enlightenment. Living enlightenment, they don't talk. We had, fortunately, that kind of people. That is why we surrendered everything to them. And the funny thing, first time, both of them will meet only before tying the Mangal Sutra or the marriage ceremony. Some traditions, only after Mangal Sutra is tied, they will even remove that face veil. So much of authenticity, because both of them lived with the inner ecstasy. Both of them know very clearly the outer person is just there to share, not to demand. That is why you don't need to seek and search and date around. See, if it is a utility, like a buying commodity, you have to go around, experiment, find out and do. People, the other day, one person was telling me, What is this, Swamiji? In India, no freedom. The parents choose, the elders choose about the wife and husband. Is it not disrespect to the individual freedom? We don't understand. Dating around, choosing, then marrying is the disrespect to the whole physical relationship. Means it is like commodity. If you are buying a shirt, you need to put it on and see. Because you are going to use that. Same way, if you are dating around, choosing and then selecting and marrying, means you are going to use that person. That person is going to be utility. That is why you are so careful. In the Vedic marriage, the person was not utility. He was only an object on which you can pour your ecstasy. He is only an object on whom you can train. You can get trained to pour your compassion, to open up, to share the compassion with the whole world. By 21, the person will be filled with overflowing ecstasy. Now he has to have the training of pouring that on one person, so that within 50, he will be matured to pour it on the whole world, to take vanaprastha. It's very beautiful. First, creating ecstasy and joy and awakening the non-mechanical parts of your brain and living with ecstasy 25 years. Between 25 to 50, training to pour that on one person, one family, one group. That is Grihastha life. Then next, Vanaprastha, trying to pour that on inanimate objects. Like that's why Vanaprastha means going and sharing it with in the forest. Trying to pour that on animals, pour that on trees, pour that on whole forest with the nature. Then sannyas, trying to pour that on the whole world. You are now trained to pour your ecstasy and compassion on the whole world. This is the tradition. Understand, going around, I am not against, but I want you to understand, do not think the Indian traditional marriage custom and system was the lifestyle without freedom. No. There, because the other person was not utility, we don't need to go around, we don't need to seek around, we don't need to search. I am full. All I want is some one person on whom I can pour. So that masters are there, they will choose, that's all. The dimension and color of the skin was not involved. That is why we don't have a problem, we never had a problem of surrendering this freedom to the elders. Now, not only color of the skin, even color of the dress matters. The taste matters. Color of the dress matters, because it is going to be utility. You are now planning how much maximum I can get out of that person. It is all about how much you can get out of that person. That is why you have to shop around. You have to shop around to get a best deal. So naturally, if it is going to be a deal, you have to shop around. In the traditional Vedic marriage system, it was not deal. So you don't need to shop around. It was only a training. So masters know who should be put next to you so that you can get trained. Even the attitude was training. That is why every time the thought of continuing the marriage only was mothered. Yesterday's sutra, if you remember, as hen mothers the chicks, mother particular knowings and doings. In the Indian traditional marriage, thought of continuing the marriage only was mothered continuously. Even verbally, they will not tell that I should not live with him. No. Even verbally they will not tell. Thought of keeping the marriage alive was mothered. But now, when it is utility, shopping around, even after a few months, when you think the deal was not as you expected, the thought of divorce is started getting mothered. Understand? The moment you start mothering the thought of divorce, you have created the problem for you. Which thought you mother is the truth. We never kept the relationship as a utility part. It was more pouring. It was more sharing. Whenever a problem in marriage comes, the person only remembers, marriage is happened for me to train myself to pour my compassion and expand me. It is a test. In the marriage system of the West, where the dating and deal is signed, whenever the problem happens, I think I am cheated. Now I have to stand up. I have to put my foot down. Where will you put? Already you are down. Where more you will put your foot down? Where more you will go down? I'll put my foot down. The whole attitude was different. The whole attitude was different. The essence, base was adding the Ananda Sutras to life. Understand? Adding the essential clarity which straight away brings ecstasy to your life. This sutra is a kind of a sutra. Just simple understanding will awaken the non-mechanical parts of your brain. And all you need to do is cooperate with it and allow that awakening of the non-mechanical parts of your brain to create your day routine. That's all. Understand? With Nitya Sutras, you have to listen, internalize, remember and center yourself every day. It may not need a separate effort, but every moment you have to just remember and bring it back to the center, to that awakening, to that remembrance. Like Ajapa Japa, Ananda Gandha, putting your awareness on Agnya. There are so many methods. That and all is Nitya Sutra. Next is Dhyana Sutra. Understanding, internalizing, sitting particular time, half an hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sitting and doing it. Dhyana Sutras. Ananda Sutras. Understand, the very understanding will give you the clarity. That clarity will automatically awaken the non-mechanical parts of your brain. When that awakening happens, a chaos will start happening in your routine. Means your routine will start getting arranged by itself. Cooperate with it. That is what I call living enlightenment. If you don't cooperate for the new ecstasy which happened, new awakening which happened, and if you force your old same dull routine on you, you may forget or you may bring your awakening back to same old person. Back to your dullness and deadness. Here, this Ananda Sutras does not need your effort, it needs only your cooperation. Listen very intensely and understand. Allow that awakening of non-mechanical parts of your brain to happen now, so that you can cooperate with it. Cooperating means when these understandings happen, the tremendous love, tremendous gratitude for the master or God or this understanding. If the devotion happens even to this understanding, that is the respect to the Veda Mata. That is the respect to the Veda Purusha. Respect to Veda Purusha means what? Respect to the understanding. One thing may start arising, something may start arising as a side effect. Just cooperate with all these things, that's all. Just go with all these things. You may always like to be around the people who are also in this kind of life. You may always love to talk or listen about this kind of things. Cooperate with it. Cooperating with the awakening which happened in you is what I am calling being a disciple or living enlightenment.